Sister Alan in the world of toys. And today is time to talking about Cosmic Legion, Mythic Legion. And to do this conversation, I got a friend from Horsemen Studios, and his name is Joe Vasapollo. So guys, please stay tuned right here, because it's an amazing episode with me and Joe together. Welcome, Joe, to the show.
Hello, Mr. Allen. The song got a little ominous there at the end.
Yes, a little bit more dark. To play the because I discovered that in my improvisation right here in the channel, I use especially the higher part of the keyboards of the piano, because it's the part that you can see with the camera, and the other is off camera. So because of that, every my song looks like that, but there is also something like that.
It's very fun.
So welcome to the channel. The first question, curiosity that I have. Your name is Vasapollo. Looks like with Italian origin, or is just because I see Italian everywhere because I'm Italian?
It's very Italian. I have on my father's side, of course, grandparents back to Sicily. Great grandparents back to Sicily. Yes.
Okay. You did you ever visit Sicily, Italy in general?
No, afraid not. My sister has gone twice. I'm very, very, very jealous of her. She would take pictures, and it's absolutely beautiful there. I hope to visit there sometime, but right now it's not in the plans. Maybe if we get lucky.
Yeah, Sicily is really beautiful. I never visited Sicily. I had before some girlfriend from there, but I never visited Sicily so far. But I know it's really beautiful because of the sea, of the volcano. This stuff is really cool. So I think it's really cool. Because I live in North Italy, actually. Sicily is in the south, so it's a little bit far from me. Speaking of distance, but I know this is really beautiful. The South Italy, Sicily, especially. But you cut your hair a little bit, because I remember
a little bit.
Okay, I remember you with long hair. I don't know why, but where is your barbarian hat that I put in the thumbnail of my?
I kind of figured you'd ask. If there was a show to wear it, this is on Mr. Allen in the world of toys.
Perfect. You need that, because I put you in the thumbnail of the show with this one. So you need that. Now we are more mythic.
Yes, we keep it fun. I don't have a space helmet for later. I don't even have like a blaster around, at least.
Awesome.
You know what? I do have something for that, but when we get to that topic.
Awesome. Tell me how start your work with the Horsemen Studio.
So it goes back to when they had invited me to go on the first G-Con episode, when they were first streaming from the office and presenting the new line. I don't remember if it was Arethyr. You know what? It might have been a couple waves. Oh no, it was Advent of Decay. That's right. It was the release, the reveal of Advent of Decay. So they had me on to show off some of my custom work that I had been, posting up. And it's where I got to meet Jeremy for the first time. We hit it off immediately, and just over time, I would, keep up with them. And when there would be an order, a sale, I would go and pick up my order from the studio. And I think it was, what was it? Exodus, the Exodus sale. I went to go pick up my order, and they're like, "You're lucky you're close. You may be waiting a while. There's a lot of orders, and we don't have like a lot of people to do this." And I'm like, "Let me come by. I'll help you. Like after work, I'll come by. I'll give you a few hours, and I'll help you get it out the door." They're like, "Okay, sure, come by." Yeah. And so we finished up with that, and they're like, we plan on doing more sales in the future. Would you like to help us out? I'm like, sure, yeah. So I just kept showing up whenever there was something going on, to the point where they're like, let's keep you around a little more. So that's how I kind of got my foot in the door over there, and I've been eternally grateful since.
Awesome. I believe that the advent of decay is the largest wave in the toy collector's history, because a lot of figures in this way. I pick many character of that waves. I purchase them later because I start to fall in love with Mythic Legions. Actually, 1 year ago, after my first interview with CB, I start to was because a dream, actually, because I tell you a fun short little story. After my interview with CB, we talk a little bit more about Mythic Legion, because before of that, I know Mythic Legion especially for the Mochu homage figure. And because of the interview, I try to understand a little bit how it works. But after the night after the interview with CB, actually the morning after, because I live in the night and sleep in the morning like a vampire, I did a dream. And that dream, I remember me, my father, and tons of Mythic Legion action figure. It was like an earthquake, something like that in the dream. And my father told me in the dream, hurry, get your Mythic Legions, because now that everything goes falling down. Oh no, Mythic Legions! I saw many figures. So because of that, the day after the dream, I go to the website. I watch every character. So but this is for me, because I love Mythic Legions because of my love of the fantasy world. I like Lord of the Rings. I'm awesome. Me and my girlfriend, actually, we play a lot of Hero Quest game.
Nice.
And when I saw that, well, it looks like to have a giant version of Hero Quest. I can do something with that. So I picked every character that they wanted to create a story or something like that. I remember the first figure that I got was King Brandon. I remember this moment like it was yesterday, because it was a huge surprise because of the details, the vibes of this figure. Because this figure tell you a story, or ask you a story, to build a story for the. As a writer, I feel that, no. I start to create a diorama. I start to create a story for stop motion series, and because of that, I decided to create the first Mythic Legion secret project that was revealed on Christmas night 2021. I talked you before about that before with you. The chess game, the big chess game. And the storyline of my stop motion series is related of the chess game. So we have basically two factions with some sub faction, but obviously in the chess we have only two factions, no? And because of that, is related also the stop motion series with that. And also tomorrow night, guys, everybody, the Mythic Legion song is the next step of my love with Mythic Legion. So this is what. So I understand your feelings when you start to work with them in your free time, because you're in love with these figures, and then you become a full-time member. You're a part of the group, no?
Yes, and I've had time to work in the studio as well. So I've worked on projects for in-house and out-of-house as well. I had a pretty close involvement with the Legion's Con exclusive for this year, which is all I can say. But I'm really excited for it. I got to collaborate. It was a collaboration with Jeremy as well. He basically designed the figure, the parts to use, said use these figures and this color scheme, and run with it. And so it's awesome to have been able to work on a project with him as an employee of the company when we met as fans for that first G-Con. And we've said many times before, it's kind of hard to believe that we're in this position, but I love this line because it, like you said, it stirs the imagination and it makes me want to do so many things with these figures and the 3D parts and mix other lines together. And it's really exciting. And I just love how creative you can be with the line.
Yes, it's something special. It's something that you can find in other line. Maybe because this line is new, so is new story. Is there's not a repackage of something that was created before, like many new stuff that comes out today, including Master of the Universe. The new Motu line as a reboot of the original, basically. With Mythic Legion, we have something new story, and also is a big opportunity to create something yours. Is the reason why we have a beautiful customizer in this community. Like I did an interview with Emil Wickman, that they create your own story. It is, for example, to me for the stop motion. So it's something that is I remember when I got these figures for the first time, the first few figures, that you feel immediately that the people behind that is a really artist. They stay focused on the do art with action figures.
Yes.
Not just business, but art. You feel that. Also, for example, also the little things remember you that, like the message to use the air dryer. How many other company put this message in this action figure? No one. If you are new, if you are green as a collector, you can do some mistake to broken the figure. I had some problem, for example, with some my NECA figures, because it broke it because at that time I didn't know that I need to use the air dryer, for example.
Right.
So this message is something that you understand. They take care of their figures also after that the figure is sold. No, I think it's really a nice touch, in my opinion, to respect the collector, but to respect also their creativity, their creation, because still a creation also when this figure is in the other hands, in the customer's hands. No, I like the philosophy.
Of course, they're meant to be taken apart and have the parts swapped around. You can't have them breaking as you take them out of the package. If you can't remove them with and have them fall apart, and it's no good. They're meant to be disassembled and to be creative with them. And that type of quality, it needs to be, paid attention to at all times. And that's why we had to go ahead and, get more of those Krampus tails and make that available. And like, nobody's perfect. Sometimes the factory gets things a little off, and, we'll always do our best to try to, make good on all the orders that have come before. If something goes sideways, it's not going to be hidden. We'll try to, fix it and make it all good for everyone.
I think also sometimes it's possible with some trouble, speaking of factory problem, but also I think it's something that I discover now, in something that I still working now, that I told you before, but I can't say nothing for so far. Is when you create something, sometimes you can find some problem, no? But the problem is opportunity to create something better, no? Is another step you learn with your issue, no?
Right, absolutely.
And this is important. It's important. Your issue is important to learn something and to create something better and better and better, to become better as an artist. Obviously, in my opinion, the quality control of these figures is perfect, because you can find because it's an interesting test to understand the quality of a figure is show the figure with someone that is not a collector. And to me, it's easy, because in my real life, the only friends that are a collector are friends that I meet with my show, with my channel, but the people they know in real life are not collector. When I show to them my Mythic Legions, I remember when I showed the Stone Troll, everybody was surprised about the quality, about looks real these figures. When I show my Skeleton Legion built to my brother is he loves skeleton. Skeleton is his favorite since he was a kid. And when he showed the definition of the skull of the Skeleton Legion builder, was really, really, really excited for that. And he told me, I want to play chess with you with your Mythic Legion sometimes, because to touch the figures. No, yeah. I think that everybody discovered that the quality. And when someone that is not a collector likes so much a figure, because when I show other figures, because I'm a guy that I show my figures to everybody, when I show my figures also with my girlfriend, I show, take a look at this, take a look at this. They say it's nice, but maybe they still to convince that it's just a figure, no? When Mythic Legions, they understand this is a piece of art behind that, because of the definition, the line on the skin, for example. No, the details are unbelievable, and because of that, you can understand also the quality when you shows these figures with someone that's not a collector. It's a good test, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, Eric does fantastic design work, and I know Bill will help out with that every now and then too, with the 3D design. Cameron and Sherry, they kill it every time with the paint. Every now and then I get to work on something with them, and I pick up a new skill here and there and build a little more confidence. And I said it before, I'm the least talented person in that building when it comes to what they do with these figures, and I'm okay with that because it means I can only get better working amongst them. So yeah, it's great to know them and work with them, and I look forward to everything that we do, and it's exciting stuff.
I think something that I discover also with this interview, because I interview many people that work with you, like Chris, Jeremy, CB, and Cameron. I also Nate Birch. I discover that everybody have a big passion for the line. You love your works, your line, and they built. There is also comments from both. Yes, Snag is super cool also too. This is a question for you.
Yes.
If any chance to release for Azar, I believe.
So on, he was one of the choices for All Stars 5. Yes. Or
Yes.
was he? I get them mixed up. I'll be completely honest. I go the blue one or the yellow one because they sound so alike.
Let's see. I believe in a few
We'll
weeks
see.
we have the answer.
Yeah. Can't say yes, can't say no.
In few weeks, when will be revealed what happened with All Star, he will discover, I believe. But speaking of reveals, we are 1 week away. 1 week away, I believe the correction, because my English is. I learned English with resin. Don't forget that. But I believe there was 1 week. 1 week ago, the Cosmic Legions Wave 2 reveal. Tell me
Yes.
something
We're
about what is
week
your.
into the sale or the pre-order for Cosmic. Yes.
Tell me what is your favorite of this wave and why.
I can't remember everybody's names.
Me too. Me too. We are on the same page.
I'm around them all the time, but I don't see the names, so they don't stick. At this point, I would have to say it's the probably the blue tusk soldier with all the interchangeable parts and the 3 heads and the extra chest, the new chest plate that flips over, because you can get so many different looks out of it. It is the barbarian builder of Cosmic, and there's just so many possibilities with this. It's going to be hard to keep it as just one thing in the cabinet. I know I'm going to get I'm going to get 3, so I can use one of each head, but there's so many ways that you can play with this one. So I like that you can be creative with that one. And I'd say my runner-up, just for what it is probably that cyborg, that big purplish blue cyborg alien guy. There's so much going on there.
Okay, you mean the guy with one robotic legs?
Yes, and then the half robot face, giant mace. Yeah, he's a brutal looking SOB. I like him a lot.
That one is my favorite too, also because I remember me a little bit Blade of Motu movie, because of the something
Yes.
he has on his head.
Uh-huh.
A little bit some vibes for that, but also because I like this big brute character. Also, I like the typical gray alien, because I think is this type of character is something that we need in this line. No, I have this type of typical gray alien, my opinion.
Right. Yes. Yeah, I'm glad that he decided to go tall with it instead of short. I was happy Eric make that decision, because it's what you would expect. You would expect to see a short little gray person. The tall is way more. It can be more intimidating, and it's not what you would expect. So yeah, I like the direction we took with
I
that.
see, me too, me too. I like, in general, I like the reason why I start to fall in love with Mythic Legions because I like a line when you have a different scale of character. Is the reason why, for example, with my custom figure of WWF Hasbro with my friends, I asking because a design is called for me. Remember, Big John studies at Giants needs to be taller than Superfly Jimmy Snuka. No, it's something that they want.
Right.
Mythic Legions is perfect for that. I'm very happy for this new wave because we have new shape of figures. So this gray is tall, but still is really lean. So I like that. And I hope in the future to have also something similar also in the mythic line, maybe another a tall, really lean guy, but tall like the gray could be interesting also, no?
Yes.
Because every wave is a new step for both line, in my opinion.
And Eric plans out everything well in advance. So, the molds and the tools, they're very expensive. So when they come up with a concept, everything that they do, he already has a plan in place, or at least an idea in the back of the mind to use those parts over again. And I can tell you, it will not take long to see Cosmic appear in Legions and in Mythic, and we've already seen Mythic appear in Cosmic with the the fabric pants on Thygar.
Yes.
We're going to get those first in the Alithia wave with some of those characters. So all that to keep in mind. They're swappable from different lines, but those parts will be incorporated, and I'm excited to see where he would go, what direction, what kind of character we would use the gray in.
Yes, me too. Maybe an ogre. This is different on a musician. Imagine this big musician, tall, but the sky is the limit for the creativity in this line. Also for the customizer. I remember that also you are a customizer. That's
Yes,
right. Do
yeah.
you have
I mean,
something
I
there
still
to show
mess
me?
with them quite a bit.
Do you have some of your custom figure there?
You know what? Yeah, there's a couple around. I don't know if you can really see too well, maybe in this shot, but everything here is just full of parts, just tons of loose parts and everything. Right before I got on with you, I had this one. Who was it? Baron Volgar laying around that I've been meaning to open and get the parts on. So I tossed some of the parts onto this guy earlier.
Cool.
And it is a red shield soldier with I think this is a Xena warrior princess shield. This is one of my favorite parts to put on Mythic. I bought this. I bought a Xena figure at ZoloCon in Pennsylvania a couple weeks back, just because it's just a really neat sort of accessory. These blades come out of the shield.
Cool.
So that's that, and it's got the head of who is this? Well, it's Sir Galeron, I believe. I just painted that up to match the armor, and I tossed on the gloves, the gauntlets, and the boots of Baron Volgar, just to kind of make him this kind of like dragon-esque sort of warrior. So I had tossed him together earlier.
You put a name for this guy?
You know what? I'm not very good with the names. I'm not very good with the stories. I'm extremely shallow when it comes to my creations. I just want to make something that is visually, aesthetically cool. And maybe if I come up with something down the line, it's great. I don't want to say it's a good guy, it's a bad guy. It's just I just want to make cool looking stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do you remember your first ever Mythic Legions figure that you got?
I think it was Gorgo Aetherblade off of eBay for I think $28 complete.
28 bucks is not too much.
It's not too much, and I kick myself because the guy had a bunch of other ones that I wish I had jumped on, but I just wanted to try one, so I picked one that I thought was the absolute coolest of the ones available. I had seen Mythic Legions, pop up on some of the toy sites before. I saw the pre-order at the time. Like I wasn't necessarily financially stable to jump into a completely new line, especially at those prices. It was a bit of a shock to me for what I could do. But once I got that figure in, I was really, really quite impressed by the quality and the design, like the sculpt and the paint, like everything held up really nice. and it's just a gorgeous figure. So from then on, I picked up another few figures off eBay, and then I bought some figures off of an in stock sale early on. I think I got the Raven, and that's where I got my Otho. No, like nobody wanted Otho. I kick myself to this day for not getting a couple more, because I like him as is, and he's just a great. The color schemes on him are fantastic. But at this point, I mean, I get one of everything, even if it's not my favorite. I used to tell myself, I'll pass on this one, I'll pass on that one. And eventually, whether it's a week later or 2 years later, I end up backtracking on them. And I think I have all but 18. You know what? No, all but 15 of the characters, and I don't count them if they're like an all-stars. I may have an all-star version, not the original, but that's okay, because they're good as is for me, and I take them apart most of the time anyway. But yeah, we're always messing around with them.
To me, for example, I like the line in general, but I choose the character to create my story. So, for example, I pick many. I remember when I was really excited when I got two of my favorite, Almir Golden Tooth and Urso.
Those are good ones.
Yes, these two
and they're
are
dwarves, so that's the right answer.
I like dwarf. Dwarf is one of my favorite race, by the way. I like dwarfs. I like the giant karate. I'm really looking forward to have the half giant with the accessory pack created by Nate Birch. The accessory pack. This one, this big Viking character, is something that so I like barbarian. I like dwarves. I like skeleton. I like ogre, troll, goblin, orcs, obviously, skeleton. I'm not a big fan for the anthropomorphic character. Good figures, but not right for my storyline. For example, dwarves or demon, no, they're not my favorite. But not dwarf. Sorry, no dwarf.
It's okay. We're still friends. It's all right.
No, because my English is crazy. No, not dwarf. I love dwarfs, but the anthropomorphic figures in general, the guy with animal head, some stuff like that, don't work in my story. Are good figures, but not for my project. And also the demons. These two type of figures. But knights, dwarfs, barbarian, orcs, ogre, goblin, or elf,
and trolls.
Trolls, yes, trolls. I have the stone troll and the stone troll 2 and forest troll 2, because I need two big monster in my storyline. And but if I need to pick three races they like so much: dwarves, barbarian, and orcs. Maybe my three favorites.
I'm not far behind you. I think I've done a lot of knights, a lot of dwarves, of course, and orcs. So I'd have to go like knight, dwarf, orc, and barbarians. You know what? It's hard, man. It's really hard to settle on which ones. It depends on what's available for parts. It depends on what I'm thinking about. I have a hard time settling. The dwarf is pretty high up there, considering how short they are, though. They're high up there.
Yes, me too. I'm a big fan of the dwarf. For example, one of my favorite figures are Almir, Jorun Runeshaper. These two, for example, is two I like so much. I like also the Cavern Dwarf, for example. I like this dark, and I put the Cavern Dwarf immediately. For example, the protagonist, the main character of my stop motion series is Torgun Redfin. The main hero of my story is Torgun Redfin, for example, because I want to create something different. Because obviously, if you think about main hero, you can imagine maybe a knight, something like Magnus, something, or an elf, maybe an elf like. Also, the elf ranger could be a good hero because it's blonde hair, so it's typical. Sure. I have this one, by the way, because I like also elves. I try to have in my story, in my collection, I want in my collection figures with different head sculpts. So I don't want figure with the same head sculpt. And also to create a troop maybe is not the correct word, a legion of
Yes.
knights. I pick different type of knights with different head sculpts. So I have the Red Sea Soldier. I have the Sirowain. I have Lord Vateris. I want a legion, no, of knights, but with different heads. To me, it's not important if you have a figure with the same similar design for the body, but for the head, I want something different because to me the head represent the personality of the character.
Absolutely, yes. That I end up doing that a lot myself. I don't like having a lot of the same head around. And you mentioned Torgen before. It's a great sculpt. It's a very recognizable character. So I have three of them. I need to find two more heads to put on those dwarf bodies because I don't want just a different dwarf with the different color hair. So you gotta mix them around a bit. And I've got this one here, but this is a Torgen or was a Torgen, and I put this helmet on him from
Cool.
was a Marvel Legends Punisher. But yeah, I just painted that up a bit. And I'm like, all right, so he kind of works as a barbarian as well. I don't want another dwarf that
Awesome. I
uses
like
the
how
same sort of
works
head.
together this helmet with the really cool.
Yeah, and it fits right in.
Could
So
be this one could be the older brother of the dwarf in the Deluxe Legion Builders wave because the guy also have the beard, the gray beard.
yes, and I've had my hands on those many times since we've gotten the pre-production samples in. I've already figured out what I'm doing with everyone that I get. It's one of the perks of being there, I will admit.
And for the Deluxe Legion Builder, for example, I pick all them. Only one that I don't pick was the Dark Templar because I have the Templar Knight and the helmet is too similar to my choice. So by picking all the others, and by the way, three I did the pre-order from the Horsemen, and other two for a shop Space Figurine. Because for space figurines, I can place my order. I need to pay only when I got the figures. And I do this option also because in the beginning, I pick only the Elf Giant with accessory pack, the Barbarian Legion Builder, and the Dwarf. But then I slipped on the Goblin and the Skeleton. I regret the only way was at the time to get from Space Figure. Because sometimes you have to do some also because the project growing up and because of that I got before Christmas for my Christmas 17 old figures,
Oh
and I
wow,
spent a lot for that
yeah,
because
yes,
to find thanks God Dennis Derby helped me to find some figures with a good price. uh, but other I got them from eBay with big price. So I spent a lot of money. I discovered that 1 year later because I start too late to start this project because I was starting in 2015 was easier because from you the for Horsemen was easy. The price is awesome. Also, if you're an international customer, but if you want an old figure later like Ursok or like Army Gordon Tooth, these guys is not easy. So I spent a lot buying needs. When I want something, need them. I don't care about the price. I'm like that. And now I have all the old figures they want. I still waiting only the guys that the new next wave. So Elytia, Deluxe, and also Paxus. But also for each wave, for example, in the Elytia, I pick all of them except for the Artemis 2 because I have the Artemis 1, I don't need two Artemis in my storyline.
yeah, that's why you swap the head, and then it's not Artemis, and it's somebody else.
Yes, but I have another ad. I have only the changeable ad, the exchangeable ad that I don't use because for some reason, because maybe it has the same ad of the others.
Got
So I prefer do that. So I schedule my project because of that. I pick so Elytia, however, only one figure still was I don't choose. I don't pick only one, and also for the deluxe. For Pox, it's a little bit different because I I choose 6 of them and not the horse. And the only that I don't choose was the genie because it's cool, but it's not good for my storyline.
Gotcha.
And the demon, like I said before, is not for me, demon. And also Poxus himself, because he's super cool again, but because they built a story, I need to follow some way to create the story, no?
I gotcha. Yeah, if you would have asked me what kind of characters I would have liked to have seen in the wave, I would not have said Genie at all. But after seeing it in the process, and I was part of, I didn't get to paint any of those parts, but I help process the 3D prints. So when they come off the printers, I clean them all up and I get to put the pieces together to make sure that, everything fits, and just having my hands on it, it's not really playing with it, but just assembling it. It was enough to like really appreciate all the work and detail that went into it. So while I would say I don't want a genie, I absolutely want that genie because I just love the work, and it's blue. I love blue. That may be the favorite color there. So I'm just going to get everything. If it's not my favorite, I don't care. I'll either make it my favorite or grow on me. But Genie's got a spot in the shelf for sure.
It's nice. Beauty. As speaking of design points, standpoint, it's really cool. The genie, but all of them are cool. There's no figures, Mythic Legion that I don't like. I like all them, but for my story, I need to create a direction for the story. So I decided to don't put some type of character for my idea. I hope to have in the future more ghost character like Agnan, for example, because I need ghost in my story, for example. So I hope that in the future will be more like that.
I'm personally working on that. I'm not saying that's not a spoiler. That's not releasing any internal information. That's not a hint. I'm just making it a personal. It's a personal choice of mine to get some other kind of ghost-like figure into the wave because I like Hagnon a lot. And while I would have liked to have seen a blue Hagnon, if it makes it or not, I don't know. That's why I ended up making my own. But even if we do end up getting a blue Hagnon, I still want more spectral characters for sure.
Exactly, yes.
And at least for Cosmic, maybe using that same process to make like cloaked characters, like kind of like NECA would do with the Predators, using that clear plastic. That may be good for some kind of space alien that can like shift between solid, liquid, gas forms. I'm for all of that. Yes, I would also like more ghosts. I'm gonna try to get one out there.
Trevor is in the house.
That's not a confirmation. It's not a confirm or deny statement.
And by the way, Trevor, I wear this look today because it's one of my characters that I play in my Mythic Legions official video. There will be the premiere tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacifics. A little promo. So because I have this version of myself, guys, everybody, is because you will see me in this version and many others in the video tomorrow night, premiere at 9 p.m. Eastern, of Mythic Legion song with Mr. Anna in the World of Toys, featuring Shartimus Prime on drum and with special appearance by Jeremy Girard and Dennis Derby. Stay tuned, guys.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so however, the ghost is something that I want also because we're only one. I like so much the zombie head. I choose that one for Agnon. I like also the skull translucent, but I choose in the head that I have the zombie version because it's unique and no one has this head. And I hope to have more unique. Imagine a zombie with the beard, something like that, long beard. The sky is the limit. I hope to see more of that because I need a legion of ghosts in my story. Also because I still working with something still secret, but the ghost is perfect for that. I remember when I did my second interview with CB, my dream at that time was have some wizard last summer. And he told me will be something about that in the next wave. And when I see Poxus, this wizard, oh my God, this is for me. So I pick all the wizards. I pick Arizak, Samir, the female, I forgot the name, Tracy, difficult to remember. And also Zende, I pick my favorite of the Poxus wave is Tarno, the Orc Shaman. This is beautiful because mixed two type of character. I like wizard. I forgot the wizard before in my crazy crazy list of type of race.
Your top 3.
Like wizard.
Yes, of course. I'm surprised it took them so long to have more prominent wizards because I think Jurund, Rune Shaper, the dwarf, I think there might have been more, but he's like the first to me. He's the first. Everybody wants them. Now we're getting them. I'm really excited to see where it goes. I'm excited to start making my own. I have my old man Hawkeye head put aside already to put on one of those wizard bodies. Everyone's got to use the old man Hawkeye head. That's the running joke in the customizer community. I've got tons of parts sitting aside to make more mythic wizards for sure.
See, yes, the Poxus wave is amazing.
Yes,
it's one of the. Also, this suggestion of Damien is good. Also, some druids could be also cool in the future. Druids,
yes, and there's a lot of there's lots of groups out there that are making soft goods for that sort of deal, and I don't mind plugging them. Max Bird has got some really nice cloaks, maybe a couple robes in there, and Strupp Family Crafts. They've done some amazing work with that as well, with the wizards, with the cloaks. You could absolutely get some druids looking at their stuff and getting the available parts and maybe swapping some heads around. Like the possibilities are out there, and whatever horsemen aren't doing, those guys will jump in, and eventually I know that horsemen will kind of catch up on that front and maybe even excel in that front as well.
And speaking of dreaming mythics, something that they dreamed for the future, for example, have some creature, because we have the horse for the standard human being, no? Or maybe the orc or skeleton, but we haven't so far some creature for the dwarves, no? I think we need something a little bit small, maybe bulky but small for the dwarves. Can work really well. So I hope to see in the future, and also for that to be saying, yeah, maybe it's possible in the future, because it's something that I want so much. Also that some animals for the dwarves.
Right.
Other things that they want.
Nobody expected a moose, right? I would have expected an elk, perhaps, or some kind of large reindeer, but no one expected the moose. So I mean, who knows what they have in store as far as mounts go. So I have it around 1 second. I mean, there has been mentions of other mounts, and I'm just going to take a quick look at this. But in the Mythic Legions comic book, I think around the last couple pages, I don't know how well we'll be able to see it on camera, but I know there's pictures online of it. Excuse me one moment, it's got to be here. So yeah, our main heroes. Let's see, we have Otho on an armored horse. We have Artemis Silvercord on a griffin. I love griffins. They're like maybe my second or third favorite. Fourth, I have too many. Mythical creatures. Griffins are pretty high up there. We have Asterion riding a bull. That's kind of like Goofy having Pluto as a dog. So that's an interesting thing. And it looks like Orn Steelhide is riding a wolf, some kind of bear. So I mean, every now and then stuff that we've seen before, it ends up popping up. And again, I'm not confirming any of this will happen, but it's written, it's canon. So who knows what we'll see.
Let's see what happens. Will be really cool. No questions about it. Also to have also other troll size character, but with different shape, maybe a little bit more fat. I want a fat troll also, or fat giants in my collection.
A little more grotesque, A little more rotund. Yes.
Exactly. Like a King Kong Bundy in the Mythic Legions line, no? Something
Yeah,
really big.
a few extra or new parts for trolls would be exciting, for
Yes.
sure.
I think that if you watch what happened in the last few waves, we discover everything growing up also because of the size. We start new scale. The brute scale is something new. We saw what happened with the gray alien. So that means that with the community growing up and also the possibility of the line growing up in the same time. So I think I think anything is possible. Maybe also the dragon sometimes in the future. Everybody talk about the forever teaser about the dragon because you can see I joking about that when I do my review because in the amazing art of by Nate you see the dragon on the packaging of the
Right,
figures.
right.
Looks like there's something is somewhere in the future because you see this dragon many times.
As far as
Wow.
go, this is my favorite dragon at the moment. It's a Lego Ninjago dragon.
So
I
you
love
put
my dragons
together
as well.
every little blocks to that.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is not a custom. This is from a set. I forget its name exactly, but I try to get every Lego dragon that has ever been made or that they will ever make. That's one of my
But
favorite things. So we dabble in the Lego as well. But yeah, I'm excited for whatever scale dragon they come up with.
Put together this one that you showed me before, this dragon Lego. Put together is a time consuming because it's imagine how many blocks you need to put together to do that.
Oh yes, yes. Yeah, but it's fun. Sometimes I'll build them with my son. We both love Lego, so that's something that we share. Um, I find it like building Lego is like putting together a puzzle. You know, they're supposed to go together a certain way. So at first, I always build it the way the directions say, and I may look at something and be like, maybe I want the tail to be a little longer, so I'll go into my miscellaneous parts and make a longer tail or maybe put more spikes on. I'll start to customize it from there. Since I've really gotten into Mythic, customizing with Lego is dropped considerably. I still pick it up, but yeah, I mean it gets me my dragon fix for now.
With this channel, I cover everything with the toy news. So I cover also what happened with the new stuff by Lego. I'm not a big Lego fan. I remember that I played with Lego as a kid, but I discovered also Lego with the technology change a lot. Also, the new stuff. I remember especially what they did with Ghostbusters, for example. That I like Ghostbusters, by the way. So I enjoy just to do the toy news, how they growing with their technique to create something. Because when I was a kid, the Lego was really basic about the character in general.
I love those Ghostbusters as well. I thought I had some kind of hellhound around here somewhere, but I like to have you. I have the smoky one, or like the shadow one with the red eyes. I don't remember who made it.
Gozer, you mean Gozer?
Is it the dogs are Gozer?
The dog, yes, the dog. The name of the dog I remember, but Gozer is the women. The women
Oh
with the red
yes,
eyes.
yes, yes.
You mean
So yeah,
Gozer?
I have one of them around. It's sat in my Mythic Legion cabinet for the longest time. I just had it like a shadow beast manifestation, just conjured up by
Terror dog, I believe the
Terror
name of
Dog.
the dog.
Yes, yes,
Dog,
yes.
yes.
There we go.
Yes, because the problem is that I'm a fan of many stuff. And the same times on this channel, I cover everything as a toy news. So remember the name of everything sometimes is difficult
Oh
because
yes.
you have too many stuff in your head to remember. Also something that you don't collect because I do toy news for everything. Because this channel is basically a service for every type of collector. So I cover every line to do this service to everyone. But remember everything is sometimes difficult. For example, in the Mythic Legions, I remember only the name, almost only the name of the character that I picked for my project.
Right.
Maybe I don't remember everyone's because or maybe you remember something that I was looking. it was in the middle to pick or not pick. For example, I like also Thor Iron Jaw, speaking of dwarves.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't pick him because basically his head sculpt is too similar with Almir. So
Right.
I don't want them both. I prefer Almir because the attitude this Almir is, I think, is better in my personal opinion. Also, Thor the Iron John is one I like so much, but the problem is the same abscal, basically different antlers instead of the arm. So because of that, I don't pick Thor. But I remember his name. I remember also other like Otto. Otto is something that I can pick in my collection because his head is unique,
Yes.
and also as a dark skin knight should be cool for my project. But
Yes,
Otto
I like
still.
diversity in my line as well. I was hunting for a Thor Ironjaw for a while, to the point where I was either ready to sell some pretty rare stuff, or perhaps trade up for it. But I mean, at this point, I think I'm going to end up just making my own Thor, and I'm okay with that.
But never say never. Maybe in a future All Star. Never say never.
That's right.
Because Thor is a character that can be good in a future All Star. Was one of my pick when was the before the All Star become official. Somebody asked me, maybe it was Trevor, I don't remember, during one of the show, what is my pick for a Star 5. One of the guys in my pick was Thor Iron Jaw. Also, if I don't want him because I have Armor, but also when I pick my choice for a possible All-Star, I try to pick a character that was good also to everybody, not only character that I don't want, I don't have, because obviously if I need to pick so far, now I need only, I believe only Oth is the only one of the old that I maybe could be good for my project, because everybody of the old figures, every character, everyone, guys, my English is, do you understand? I learn English with what you gonna do, brother, like that, no, because I watch it. Another short fun story. I learn English because of wrestling. Why? Because I like the golden era. So Hulk Hogan era, Under the Giants. This is my favorite era of
Hacksaw
wrestling.
Jim Duggan.
Axel Jim Duggan, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, the Big Boss Man. No, these guys.
Yeah.
And I create on this. Yes, I create on this channel a federation of action figure called my WWE Hasbro Federation. And every week there is a stop motion show, a weekly show. There is the storyline, the match, only with the characters from 1976 to 1996. And for all characters that we have, we never had an action figure in WWF Hasbro style, I designed the custom. I create with my friend, this is a sculptor, the custom figures with them. So I have a roster for them. But beside that, I watched many times the DVD of WWF of the 80s, every WrestleMania, many times. And because of that, at the time, my English was really bad because at school I wasn't good in language in general, English, French. But after to watch and rewatch, watch only wrestling in English, I learn English. And then when I start this channel, when I start to collecting toys, watch my fellow YouTuber, every day, I basically, when I had a dinner, when I had, in general, I watch YouTube, I watch the English video, tutorial or something like that of wrestling. So everything in English. And sometimes when I talk with someone, also because I talk so much in English on this channel and the wrestling channel with Anna Magnetti, I start to think in English, so it needs to translate. This is so weird.
I admire you because I only speak English and I struggle. So to know that's how you learned, you're very kind and polite, and to know that you came from, you learned from wrestling. I figure you'd be talking a lot more smack. It'd be more intimidating and threatening, and I'm gonna kick your butt and I'm gonna toss you around, and that's not you. So you say good work there.
You
That's
told me
impressive.
before that you have Italian origin. Do you speak Italian a little bit or no? Or you forget everything?
None of the good words. None of the good words.
Okay, I understand.
I would repeat things my grandmother would say in anger at school and get pulled aside and be asked, do you know what you're saying? And I was just like, I'm just angry. That's an angry word. And they're like, that's also a bad word. So don't say it.
So
There's
you
a
don't
few.
know how to you which words you need to use to present yourself in Italian, for example.
uh, I don't even remember what some of them mean. I know ciao, I know manja, mozzarella. It's really bad. Not many. I was speaking to my sister before I came on with you tonight, and she was like, "Oh, the gentleman's from Italy. Let me tell you some words." And she was driving, and I had a headset, and I could barely understand her as it is. I got a little bit of hearing loss, so it's hard enough as it is for me.
Also,
But
because you
I
you
wish I'd known some more.
to be close with your origin, you need to learn Italian, but also Sicilian. Sicilian is another language too.
See, I didn't even know that. Pure ignorance.
I learned some Sicilian because, as I mentioned before, I had a few girls friends in the past from Sicily. So when they become upset with me, start to insult me in Sicilian. No,
No,
I
no,
learned that because of that.
not
And then,
necessarily the best way, but a way.
so because of that, I speak a little bit. So, what is obviously not to do a spoil, but what is the something that we never got so far in the mythic or cosmic, but you once you dream it about it?
I would like to see werewolves. We have vampires. I don't think werewolves would be that far of a stretch. We have cat people. We have boar people. We have minotaurs. So why not wolves? Just some wolves and maybe some hairier torsos. And again, this isn't spoiling anything. I haven't seen or heard anything, but with the cosmic line, we've already seen it. We're going to see new types of torsos like that, kind of like reptilian. Hey, G, how's it going, Greg? We saw like more reptilian skin and armor sort of situations there. So I don't think it'd be all that far fetched to throw us a bone and give us a werewolf. I'd really like to see where Eric goes with that.
So finger crossed, also because I think that yes, as you mentioned, uh, werewolf is not so far from vampire. This type of world, also because vampire looks works really well in the mythic world.
Sure.
Vampires.
Yeah, I'm just like you. I'm a fan of vampires. I was really happy with this stuff. So it's got a bunch of stuff on the desk. Yeah, my vampires and my werewolves.
So werewolf is from NECA. That's right.
That's right. Yes,
For
American.
this werewolf, I did an interview with Alex Anki, that is the designer, the sculptor of the prototype of that one.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Really cool stuff.
It's a wonderful piece. Yeah, I saw that film probably when I was too young to really see that film and be like, ew, kissing. That's how young I was when I saw it. It changed quite a bit. But yeah, it's one of my favorite werewolf representations in film. I like it way more than whatever they've done in Underworld. I don't care for those type of werewolves.
I like that movie also because I like John Landis as a director, same director of Blues Brother, for example. And I like the sense of humor also that you got in that movie.
Oh, very, very dark. Yes.
I
learned to appreciate it more as I got older and understood the situations that the adults were in. Yeah, it's a hoot.
I see a battle axe in your wall.
Oh yeah, I have two of them. My sister bought me the long one for my birthday, and this short one I picked that up at a Comic-Con back in I don't know, like 2017 or 18. That was fun getting on the bus with that. It almost didn't fit in the backpack. I don't think they would have let me on if they had known it was in there. So that was an interesting situation.
You have the helmets, you have the weapons, you need an armor now to be complete.
I'll have to talk to Mr. Cameron Smith about that, because he's got some he used to be an armor blacksmith. He's got lots of background in that, and it's fun because when we'll be working, we're not always looking at each other. We'll be looking down and working at whatever, but we can have full-blown conversations about stuff, and I'll be learning about different types of armor from him all the time. And it's like, oh, this country had this style, or this era had this style. So maybe one day we'll get around to it. I mean, this is very soft. This is no kind of armor, really. There's a set of horns around here. This is like the second or third time I've worn this thing on camera, and I haven't gotten the horns on, so I'm a little embarrassed. So perhaps next time, maybe at a Legion's Con, by then, we'll have some ram horns on this. But full armor, I don't know. I don't know about that. That's a bit much. I'd rather make armor for the figures. Probably a bit better at it too.
That's this because looks like if you don't show me that is almost rubber, looks like solid. Speaking
yes, it's very convincing.
Yes,
I got this at Medieval Times for my birthday. Again, another gift from my sister, where I wore this. Oh, did I break it? Nope. Yeah, I wore this helmet the entire time. It was my first time there. And the second time, I went with a bunch of friends. We got this picture for our buddy Anthony's birthday. So I got to wear the helmet there, and we got to surprise him, and that was an awesome time. And hopefully, there's a lot of stuff going on around the next Mythic weekend coming up in November. But there may be a chance for some of us to get together and maybe hit up the Medieval Times again, because it's a short walk away. It's not very far from the venue, so. Or, maybe not walk. It's a little bit of a drive, but it's very close. So we'll see what happens. But I have those 2 axes on the wall. I have a couple swords. They're just not in the room. None of them are sharp, fortunately. I like all that sort of stuff. And they're not really space guns, but another little thing I run around with the little guy is as close to cosmic as we're going to get here. We got a couple blasters around.
So with this weapon, you looks like cosmic and mythic in the same time.
Yeah. Another little mashup. I'll be doing plenty of those when that cosmic stuff comes around. I'm very excited. Oh, hey, you like skeletons, right? Hold on, messing around here. There you go. There's skeleton warrior.
Amazing. I have not here because it was in my other house. A full skeleton, a model skeleton, human size. I have. I have also in the other house, not in this one. I have armor, a nice, obviously without a person inside. A nice armor, also a human scale, so in the same size of myself, for example.
Very nice.
Yes, because my father was very fascinated about that. Also, me and I remember when because the other house is the house of our family in general, and I remember in the living room, because it was a little bit medieval, because it was close to a castle. Also, right here, I live near a medieval castle.
Oh, lucky.
A church. I have one side old church, and the other side a castle, and the other side a forest. This is where I live. I have this huge house close with this stuff. So the medieval vibes was also in real life to me, because everybody, when I go in a little trip with my pug is my dog. I saw many ruins, old church, different ruins also near in the middle of the forest. But the other house is close to a medieval house, so it's also really medieval. Also, the other house, and my father wanted at the time to have this armor in the living room. And me, my brother, and my father were very excited for them. And my mother, no, I don't want that. But 3 against 1, and we won the battle, and we got the armor, the knights inside the house.
Wonderful.
Yes, really cool. I like so much. And I like skeleton too. And we have also another house, the skeleton human size. Super cool stuff. I like it. The rubber stuff that you showed me, the skeleton, remember me? I don't know why. Another my passion as a collector, the boglins. Do you remember the boglins?
Yes, I do. There's one floating around here somewhere that Chris was nice enough to gift me. I believe he was involved with the production of the most recent release of those. Yeah, those were fun. I had one or two of those when I was younger. They're fun little puppets and the crazy.
Yeah, I create also with them a show, 3 episodes on this channel. Was fun created this show like a Muppet show with the Boglins. I did 3 episodes. One was a reaction of the reboot The Ghostbusters, so in 2016. They were upset. The other one is a Halloween party of the Boglins for the Halloween night. And the other one was a Christmas party in the Christmas night with the Boglins. So it was another project. I do many stuff on this channel. It was one of my projects because when I got something new, I remember when it's something I'm like that. I'm a casa collector. When I saw something, I don't know why I started to love it. I fall in love and become a little bit obsessed with that.
I understand. I really do. Yep.
Now it's for Mythic Legions, and this one is like a never-ending love story because every way is better. They are beautiful, but every way is better than the previous one, and you can stop. You can't stop. It's impossible.
And
So
now it's
now,
part of my job, so I absolutely can't stop.
and because of that, I stop a little bit to collect the stuff because I haven't the money to do everything. Also because I mentioned before the stream, I mentioned before what is my future new Mythic Legions project. And to do that, I need a lot of time and also to spend a lot to get the tooling to create something.
Right.
So it's something different. Mythic Legion is something different because it's not like do just a stop motion, because I did stop motion with MacLeod Grayskull, Master of the Universe, that I like so much. And when I got the Snake Mountain, well, it was so good that the Snake Mountain by Super 7, sculpted by Horsemen, by the way. I created the stop motion, so I like so much also that they give the Castle Grayskull also. So, but this one is different because it's not just you are able to create something. You can create a new story with masters, no, because they are masters. You create a little story, Baschetto, still Skeletor, and it can be in the Horde troop. You can mesh too much because they have a rule. You create new story, but with the following the step of the original, no, because of that. But with Mythic is different because it's something new and you create something. You can follow the story of Eric, but you create something new.
Right.
And this one is beautiful in my opinion.
Yes.
It's the
I've
reason why
learned to appreciate both quite a bit. Like I said, I like everything that they do, but I like a lot of what I can do with what they've done. And yes, again, like being able to create with this stuff over and over and over again, it's way more fulfilling than just, I love He-Man. I'd like the Revelations stuff too, but like, look, I even customize him. He has the Savage head and the axe because I like my He-Man just like with his axe, and he just uses the sword as like the key, just to change. But when it's time to get down to action, it's axe time. Again, yeah, you have to follow certain things. There's like a railroad track. There's tracks that lead to different ways, but you have to stay on that track. You don't want to go off of it. In Legions, you go wherever you want. So yes, I absolutely appreciate them for that way more.
And also because after my love with Mythic Legions, I stop everything. I follow only that. Before it was a guy. I start to collect reaction transformers because they're cartoon accurate. Obviously, if Mattel didn't stop the William Style collection, the Club Grayskull and Mochu with Super 7, I will continue that because they are beautiful as for me.
Oh,
so
yeah.
only if, and every time that Brian Flynn come back on my channel, I have the same question: where will be possible Brave Star cartoon accurate figures? Only that could be another thing that I want to do.
I remember some Brave Star. I had a few of those figures when I was young. I don't remember I don't remember a lot of their names, but I had the main guy, his horse that would like kind of like he could run
30-30,
and
30-30, the horse.
yeah, and the villain that kind of looked like their version of Skeletor. He had like kind of a very like
Tex-Hex. I give you a little
yeah.
story about Tex-Hex of Bracelet because on this channel I did interviews with some people that work with Filmation. Filmation, by the way, is still my favorite production of cartoons because I like Bracelet, I like Filmation Ghostbusters, I like Master of the Universe, Shira. But one of these guys, I believe, was Rob Lamb, I believe, told me that Tex-Hex, the villain of Braystar, was was created for a Filmation Ghostbusters cartoon, but the series ended before, and Lou Scheimer says this character is awesome. We need to create a new series with Tex-Hex, and they create Braystar because of the bad guy.
That's
So
fantastic.
yes,
I love that. That's like when they created Cringer for He-Man because they had another toy line where they had all these other animals. Like, let's just reuse the molds and paint it something ridiculous, and we'll toss it in there and making a mismatch, and then you got a whole other character out of it. I love it when stuff like that pops up. It's being creative with the parts you have, or like, yeah. I mean that's an awesome story.
So if we'll not in the future a Filmation Ghostbuster cartoon accurate line, but it's difficult because I discovered that in Italy, Filmation Ghostbuster is popular, but in US not so much because there is the other Ghostbuster, the other Ghostbuster. But Bracer maybe some chance. So only that one could be another collection they can start right now because Mythic Legions take over everything. But before Mythics, every time that I start, for some whatever reason, I remember when I saw a stop motion on YouTube with the Foot Fighters, I want immediately all Foot Fighters in my collection in my room, and then I create my stop motion series. So I was like that when I fall in like in music as a writer of music. No, it's different because you have a respiration every day if you want. The problem is I do many stuff. I need to stay focused with something. So YouTube is a big time consuming for me because this channel is a toy news channel also. No? So I cover everything. So I have big time consuming. I have the other channel of wrestling. I have a work as a writer. So I need to do some novels. And so do everything is difficult. But however, as a music, as a guy to listen other music, it's the same process. It's a casual discover of some artist, and then I listen only this artist for several weeks. After I stop it, it's to continue with the other one. Like that. The collecting toys before Mythics was like that to me. Discover something that was not only Mochu of wrestling that I made my main collection, follow with the step. But after meeting now, I watched everything. I try to watch series also on Netflix related with this world also too.
Yeah,
So
I've been catching up with some wrestling myself. I was watching SmackDown before while I was eating my dinner before I came on with you tonight, and I saw some new faces, and I'm missing some old ones, and I started watching wrestling again around when the pandemic started, and they were they had their own like they were in their own arena in Florida. They didn't really seem to stop. They rolled through it. I thought it was very interesting. It's just like, I'll start something new because I'm not really doing much. But now I have it on in the background, and like if I'm painting or if I'm cleaning up parts or just messing with toys, like every now and then I'll look up at it. I'm paying attention to the story. It's interesting, It's something I try to keep up with.
but speaking of wrestling, my opinion, because I follow today wrestling because in the other channel is a big channel, the other one, 50,600 subscriber, over almost 19 millions of views. So a big channel because wrestling, if you, I did some videos with over 1 million views, but so I get some satisfaction with that. But I'm honest, I'm a guy of the golden era, so the 80s, early 90s. From also, I discovered later that because I it wasn't a part of my childhood, but also the 70s. So from 1976 to 1996, the period I like. because today we have, to me, there is some problem in wrestling. One is that too many cruiserweight people that looks like too much normal people. When I watch wrestling, I want to see larger than life character like Roddy Piper,
Right. Yeah.
Goldust,
Spectacle.
exactly.
Yes.
Eccentric character or giants. I like giants, under the giants, the super heavyweight. But these cruiserweight that are under 200 pounds, they are looks like sometimes smaller than the referee. Don't work to me. Also because they have also many of the new character that we have today in the WWE, but also in AEW, they haven't a good charisma. In the 80s, for example, also a jobber like Brooklyn Brawler, a jobber, or the Berserker, or Papa Shango, just jobber, just mid card. They had a personality, no, a charisma, a gimmick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Today, many guys looks like just good athletes because jump from turnbuckle to the other one, but they haven't the same. Also, the problem, the promo today in wrestling are too much scripted. So
I
you
agree.
lost
Yeah.
the authenticity, the genuineness, the genuine vibe. So you remember here, I watched many interviews with Piper, for example, is my favorite, Roddy Piper, but also the others, that they tell a story that in the 80s was improvisation. They have just a line to follow as improvisation, and you believe more that. Another problem today is the social media.
Yeah.
Because if you see a guy, remember Braun Strowman, to discover everybody, destroy everybody, take over everything, and you see in social media with the little puppets, a normal guy, it's not true because it's not
Yeah.
good because broken the kayfabe. And because of that, today sometimes I'm upset. For example, I watched a WrestleMania. No? I did the full coverage live stream for all WrestleMania weekend. But when I saw Bobby Lashley won a match against the giant Omos, is a really a giant 7'3" tall,
Yeah. He's
400
massive.
pounds. Why a giants that they built for 1 year undefeated? You put on WrestleMania his first single match of WrestleMania lost a match. You destroy the character like that. So
Yeah, you
they
took away
do
what's
some
special,
mistake.
right? Yeah. What's special? You say it doesn't matter. Oh, he's big. Oh, that don't matter. But that's
Yes.
what matters, right?
Yes, it's many times also in NXT because I full cover everything NXT, AW, NXT UK, everything. And so sometimes the 400-pound guys they lost against a 190 pounds. It's difficult to believe. It's a giants in the real life, but all right, and they put away the little guy,
hmm
And it's the problem today because there is some fan they watch only the move. One move. But to me, it's not good wrestling. To me, that sometimes I see something good, nice, but not good as the 80s, the golden era. The Hogan era is the best to me.
Yeah, I remember some of it. I remember having it on like Saturday mornings after the cartoons. That's when the wrestling would be on when I was younger, and then I kind of like floated away from that for a while, and then I started watching it again in like the late '90s, early 2000s, when I think around when Raw started, Monday Night Raw. I would catch that every now and then. There might have been a few other like shows or promotions running at the time. I didn't really care about TNT or WCW or any of those. I just stick with the. To me, it's still WWF. I have to keep myself from saying WWF because that's what we grew up with. So that's still a little weird. And the fact that they say, like, oh, it's fake. It's just entertainment. Like I know. Don't say it's
Monday Night Raw was born in 1993.
okay.
And speaking of great character, also Damien
Big boss
yes,
man. Yeah.
Big Bossman, Typhoon, and Earthquake. Remember the
Yeah.
natural disasters together over eight. I believe because I remember many billed weight and eight of the wrestlers. So I can tell you, for example, the Typhoon is 6'7", 384 pounds. He mentioned also Earthquake. Earthquake was 6'5", 468
Oh,
pounds.
dang.
Yes, and Big Bossman, 6'6", was 380, and when he lost weight, 337. So I remember everything of
Wow.
my favorite character.
Yeah, you do. You absolutely do. I'll be lucky to know my own weight, and if I did, I'd be disappointed. But that's impressive.
So I have a different passion, different loves, and my more fresh loves, however, is Mythic Legions. I'm very happy to discover also this world and become friends with people like you, because the people that love Mythic Legions, the fan of this brand, is different.
Oh yeah.
More art, you can find artists in this brand. I answer this question just to stay to have fun. Yokozuna
I remember you.
is was 6'2", and when he debut was 229 pounds. No, sorry, 400. Sorry, because I remember in kilos. In kilos,
Okay. Yeah.
229 kilos. But in a way, in pounds, when he debuted, Yokozuna was 505 pounds, and when he left WWF in 1996, he was 666 pounds,
Oh,
Yokozuna.
it's amazing more people weren't hurt, and that he didn't get more hurt.
Yeah, the problem also that he was too much weight for his also for Avreza, because he passed away at 33 years old, Yokozuna,
Oh man, yeah, that's rough.
because too much weight. I watched the documentary on WWE Network about Yokozuna, the story, and many people of the roster at the time told some story that he was sometimes he faded during the in
Oh
the
no,
backstage. He slept because he forget to breathe, basically,
yeah, that's
because
rough.
of his size. It was a man with some demon inside, because it was he refused. He tried to do some to lose weight, but it's difficult. Also because the Samoan in general is really big.
It's not easy when you're your own worst enemy, I guess.
Yes, yes. Many wrestlers are looks like rock star, and the reason why many peoples of the golden era of the 80s passed away really young. And I discovered also because of the problem of the steroid.
Yeah,
Because of that, plus many other stuff illegal, their life are really short because of that, especially in the 80s. And if I discovered, for example, that the guy for the 70s, when they were more clean, they are like Bruno San Martino from Italy. He passed away over 80 years old, maybe
oh well.
84, or maybe are close to 80s, because at the time they were more clean. But in the 80s was rock and roll era,
Hmm.
crazy lives for these guys. Is the reason why we lost many of them. Many of
Yeah,
them.
they live like rock stars. I mean, they were way more popular and out there amongst the people, and yeah, it's a shame.
Today is different because of marketing, especially because the WWE also is important. Speaking of marketing, they have a wellness program, so they have drug tests every day. So also, if you smoke marijuana, you will be suspended. So today is different, more clean, because especially because marketing side, you need to have a clean company to do money, no?
Right, right, and they're
Because
all
of
investments. You know,
exactly.
they're all employees, and you've got to like kind of show your best face.
Exactly. So
I can understand.
because of that, also the athletes are more safe, because and that side is good, because if you destroy your life for your art, it maybe it's too much, no?
Hmm.
But obviously, maybe they are. I discover also in general the artist, a genius or a big artist, or is really weird, is different. So to an artist in general, especially if you have a big talent, you discover that the art asks something for your in your life, take over your life, and you are maybe not really good to do normal things. No,
Oh
so
yeah.
it become a problem. Live with a if you I know, for example, it's not easy have a relationship with me, no, because I'm a guy that live only for my heart every day, so every day, so it's not easy, but you can do other things. So when I was a musician, the music was only my life. Then I become a writer too, then also YouTuber. So everything become your mission. Do art every day. It's difficult to stop yourself sometimes when it maybe last night, two nights later, 2 nights ago, not later, this is the future. uh, I working on some stuff that I mentioned before the stream with you. It's still a secret. And to me, it was impossible to stop myself to continue to do this stuff. And once I continued to work on that app, because before I did the videos on this channel, I started working on that. I start at 5 a.m. At 5 a.m. I started working after a night of YouTube. And at 7 a.m. and 30, I still right there to continue to working on this stuff. It was impossible to stop myself, but the day after, I need to wake up at 2 p.m. And to me, is the sunrise to me, you know?
Yes, yes.
So I sleep just for my heart. I sleep just for hour. And so yesterday I wake up at 2 p.m. with 4 hours of sleep. I will continue to do my job as an artist until 6 a.m. And then I sleep 10 hours to regroup myself.
Something I've learned, getting to talk to other artists and just like paying attention to how I've been as I get older is everything that goes on up here is much stronger than what physically happens around you, and what happens with your body. What's up here is more real, and you need to be careful with that. You need the good balance, because the meat machine that we live in will eventually start to remind you is like you need to pay attention to the outside and not be so much on the inside. I also have a wonderful wife who reminds me of that quite often as well. But there's been plenty of times where I no longer work on like custom work on a work night on a weekday. I've stopped it because I would get home, have dinner, have time with the family. Little man goes to bed. Have some time with my wife. She goes to bed around 9:30, 10 o'clock. And then from then it's whatever I want to do, because 9:30 to 10 I'm not tired. I just spent all day trying to get as awake as I am now. So I have so much momentum built up, and I would go to put it into making a toy, or maybe even cleaning this room. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here. It's quite embarrassing, but it's the only place in the house where I can speak and not annoy anybody. But yes, I understand how the art and the passion for what we do can be a little consuming and asking much of our family. You love music. I also love music, rock and roll especially. There's a band called Rival Sons, and they have a song called I think it's Imperial Joy, and the song starts out with this line. As soon as I heard, I loved it. It's I should have gone to bed, but I stayed up too late. The things I love to do, they keep me wide awake. And now I drag myself across a long Sunday, or something. It's very close to that. But when I heard that, I'm like, that's me. Like, I need to be careful with how involved I get with my passions outside of work and family and adult responsibilities. Like I got to remember, like, you got other things to be concerned about besides all the things that are stirring around here that you have to get out into the world. So I understand completely.
To me, is a little bit different because I live alone. I have no kids. I do this choice many years ago when I have because in the past I was popular in Italy as a musician. I was the opener of some my friends' famous artists. And my ambition, I was very focused with my ambition as a musician. It's because of that I decided to don't have kids. And also then because I think that I will not a good father because I'm too much focused, too many stuff to do. I prefer be free. Also, I live alone. I live with my little dog. My girlfriend has another house in another city. So I also when she she goes to me. It's difficult to have the time to help because I have too many stuff to do. And also YouTube is also a job because I pay my foods with this channel. So I need to work on that. But it's difficult to understand for someone who's not in this world that there's not uh, uh, day off for an artist. Day
Mm.
off. May I try to have one day off of year is the day before Christmas, 24 December. For this day, I try to stop a little bit myself, not complete, but a little bit, because in general it's difficult find, but also because it's like something that I need to do. If I don't do my job as an artist, I feel in fault with myself. No, I need to do that. I need to do that. I was like so. I have not big. The only responsibility that I have is have 1 hour a day for a little trip with my dog to give him some happy moments because like my kid. But only that, and with my girlfriend when she comes to me. But I so because of that, I really free to do crazy hours every day.
Yes,
But
my
don't
wife has been quite accepting, and I appreciate everything that she does for our family, and allowing me to do, like, and now working with the Horsemen. Like, the hobby is now the profession. So, like, to me, it's much more fulfilling time for me spent through the day. And I leave there and like come home and have time with the family, and it's like I'm more really at peace with how I'm living life in general. Still the work-life balance. I need to work on some things. I've been working there really full time. I think since this past no last October, last October. So I'm not even there like full time a year yet. So I'm still working out my schedule a little bit. But as far as like how I spend my time at work and with family and with hobby, because this is still hobby outside of work, still learning the balance. But I appreciate more the time spent now than I ever had before.
And I think I can understand also your feelings that you work now with the Horsemen Studio. Your story is similar, like the story of Jeremy. You both you start as a fan and then become part time and then full time. So it's like to realize a dream for both of you, I believe.
Yes, yeah. Like the first time I went to the studio to pick up an order, Eric Treadaway met me at the door, and I expected just like, here's your box, here you go, enjoy, thanks for being a customer, have a good one. And it turned into a 20-minute tour of the place, and he was working I think on like Outer Spaceman at the time. He was still like hand sculpting, so I got to see a lot of the prototypes, and he like, hey, check out this office and check out that office. Oh, and they make props over there for TV, film, and theater, which is something that I was doing at the time as well, but like for events and festivals and entertainment, live entertainment and all that stuff. So it was like, this whole building is everything that I love, and like for professionally and free time, this is awesome. And jokingly, not jokingly, I asked, hey, are you guys hiring? Because I could do a lot of stuff that's happening here. And they're like, no. But it's nice. And I reminded Eric of that a couple of weeks ago, because it was like, yeah, like, you managed to stick around, so good for you. I was like, remember that one time I asked if you were hiring, you said no, and you kind of laughed it off, but here I am, so now I'm laughing even harder. It's a wonderful thing, it really is. And those guys they're all fantastic, and like you said, you can see the passion in everything that they do. So yes, it's still a job, it's still work. We all take it very seriously, but like, we all love it, and it's great.
I think it's the better things that everybody can have in his life. Do the job that you love. I think is really important that to have the life that you want, because in this dimension, we have this life. We don't know what happened in the afterlife, which other dimension will be. So we can also stay focused right now in this dimension, but because of that, to do the best way to live, no, because it's important that, in my opinion. So a journey like your or Jeremy or also the Four Horsemen themselves, for example, also myself, because everybody do something that I love, so I'm lucky also for that. But every artist basically, but not only art. Also, if you're not an artist, do another type of job, but you love that. That's right.
Yeah.
The only good things important in the life, do uh, transform something that you love in your job. This is the secret to be happy every day, because without that you can't be happy. If you do a job that you don't like, you start to feel the heavy life, you become sad, it's no good. So
Yep.
try to, it is a mission to everybody, try to transform your passion in your job, because that is a good way to be happy, in my opinion.
I couldn't have said it better. Yeah, I've learned it. I live it. I've had those heavy times. I've had jobs where I thought this is what I want to do forever, and when those jobs would fade away or I'd walk away from them, I ended up feeling better afterwards. So I'm like, nope, that wasn't the one. Maybe the next one. And what I was doing when I started helping the Horsemen, it was all during the pandemic. I took the first job I could get just to help get money in. Like, it didn't matter whether I'd like to do it or not. I have a family to support. I have bills. I have plastic addictions. So it's like you do whatever you can get. So I was very grateful for them to give me the opportunity to come in and do what I love and make a living out of it. But yeah, I've had those heavy times, and hopefully those days are gone.
Awesome. And now is so, because we are close to 2 hours, it's time for the last question for you, my friends. And the last question is this. It's a question that sometimes I put with my guest, maybe to put my guest in trouble. I don't know, but describe your life with just one word.
Ooh. It's a good question. I want to honor it with a good answer. Immature.
Awesome. I love it. Also because an artist needs something save inside of us, the child inside of us. We need to save the child inside of us to be an artist, because without that you lose the curiosity for everything.
That's
And
right.
because an artist, yes, is inside of his world, but is also open to something around, because everything around could be an inspiration.
Right.
Okay,
And immature
everybody
means
could
there's
be
more room for growth.
exactly.
You haven't reached the full potential. So yes, immature is definitely, yeah, exactly.
Perfect. And now I go to the piano, my friends. Thanks for watching, my friends. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe the channel. And don't forget to like and share on social media. But speaking of music, tomorrow night on this channel will be the premiere of my Mythic Legion song, with myself featuring Chartimus Prime, with special appearance of Jeremy Girard and then Mr. B, tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time or 6 p.m. Pacific. And thank you, Joe, to be in this episode, to share with me your passion for your job, and to customize it for action figures, and to follow your creativity and your work. Thank you, Joe, to enjoy the show. You're very
Thank you.
welcome. Stay tuned for tomorrow premiere for my song. Let me know what you think about the song.
Will too. I'm looking forward to it.
Tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern, guys, the Mythic Legion song premiere of the official video. Thank you, Joe, again. See you soon, and have you a nice Sunday, my friend.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye, guys.